want to talk to you guys about is producing a half smooth or smooth type of surface. You know, in this sort of sculpture, right now it's pretty rough. The thing I try and do, let's say I'm establishing where the deltoid is, I might put a little bit more here, a little bit of clay, and then I'll go like, oh yeah, that's the acromion process of the scapula, and I want to make it right over there. So I'll use one of these tools. These are my wooden tools that I use for modeling, and I'll leave that up here, and it helps to have it a little bit drier. So as far as the deltoid, I'll just model it a little bit, and then I'll take this and I'll create, let's say that I did everything that I wanted in my sculpture, and at this point what I do is, and this will give you good results most of the time, so what I'll do is take a very serrated sort of wire tool like this, and what I like to do is almost cross hatch the way you would do a drawing, and it helps to have a little bit drier. And I'll try and cross hatch in the direction that the muscle is going. So the deltoid wraps around the acromion process, the scapula, the clavicle, and that's why it's called a process. So, but this, one of the things that I see a lot of students do is that they'll use their fingers, they'll put some, water, and they'll do this. And that's their idea of blending. But I think a better way of blending is actually just to take a wire tool like this, create the geometry. And this tool kind of removes a lot of the imperfections. And then the next step is to use some water and a cloth and sculpt it in the direction of the muscles. So you also have to keep in mind where the high is of the muscle. There's a lot of things that you have to keep in mind, but having some water like this on a cloth, like a burlap cloth, really helps. Even though there is a texture, when you dry it out and then run it over again, it'll kind of disappear. And I think this is a superior surface rather than the shiny surface that you would do with your finger. So this is not a very good type of surface. You can do a really great surface, but when you let the sculpture dry and burnish it with some tools, like some flat metal tools. But this is not particularly the look that a lot of sculptors go after. So even in the forearm and the hand, you see I've been using my serrated tool, and with this I can cross hatch with my cloth and get rid of a lot of the geometry and the imperfections. But because I've already blended the muscles, this will be much easier to do with a cloth. So I don't see a lot of artists doing this, and this works really well with water-based clay. With oil-based clay, you're going to rely on some other tools.